Welcome to the bench, friends. This is Joe, Blue Oval Racing, HO Scale Custom and Performance, occasionally more. We have on the Blue Oval Racing merry-go-round. Harden Creek is in the house, sort of. This is a new chassis Harden Creek Slot Cars has put out. It's not a 6 ohm, a 3.5 ohm. Now, as far as brush barrel cars go, such as your Mega G and your Tyco, shall we say, 440 times 2, I have not seen a 3.5 ohm armature offered by Viper, except for a brush barrel car. This is an end bell, baby, a Viper V1 chassis. Exciting times are here, at least for me. Especially if you have a store-bought track. You guys with the rounded tracks and all the fancy doodads out there, yeah, you're mean, lean, fighting machines, whizzing around the tracks like there's no tomorrow. But this car, right here, this chassis, is fine and dandy for all of us cats out there that have the store-bought cheap tracks. Let's get into this car. Another thing, Terry, Harden Creek Slot Cars is offering an end bell 3.5 ohm armature, naturally, because that's what's in the chassis. This is a factory balanced armature. There's no cut marks. There's no drill marks. Nothing. This is dynamically balanced at the factory where these are manufactured. Occasionally, you may find one of these armatures with a small amount of epoxy on it to true it up if it's not able to be done in a machine. I guess while manufacturing is being done. This is big news. These are balanced within 12 grams. How do I know? It states it right on Harden Creek Slot Cars website. Plus, I called Terry up to get the skinny on this because this is exciting. 3.5 ohms, baby, in your Viper. Or, there's always an or your BSRT, or your Tomy Super G Plus, or, yes, indeed, you can put one of these in your little can motor from your Super 7s. That's right, Harden Creek Super 7. Open that can motor and put this armature in it, if you're brave enough. Anyway, let's get on with this chassis. I have the spec sheet on this chassis. This car is well under $100 for this chassis. It's not a car till you put a body on it. I may slip and call it a car. It is a high-performance chassis. A relatively inexpensive, shall we say, economy high-performance chassis. This is built, by the way, by Harden Creek. At the shop, where all the action is, this chassis is built there. More than most likely by Terry. I would think it's by Terry. Anyways, let's get on with it. The information I have on a chassis, it's not in great detail because remember, this is an economy performance chassis. But you're getting more than your money's worth. I promise you that. There's no way, and I already checked the prices, no way you can go buy the parts and build this chassis for the price this is being sold for. I've already did the homework, shall we say, the research, throw in a little bit of Barnaby Jones, Mannix, Colombo. That's it, Colombo. I already did the research. All right, so the chassis, it doesn't state what flex the chassis is. But for the motor magnet and traction magnet size, I'm going to speculate this is a medium chassis. We'll get into the magnets in a moment. I'm going to speculate it's a medium chassis because if you have a medium Viper chassis, V1 chassis that is, you are good enough, that chassis is able to handle a combination of Pro 10 motor and Pro 10 traction magnets. This has Pro 4 motor and Pro 10 traction magnets. We'll get into that. So let me get a pointer and let's get on with it. We can start off with the electricals. It has copper hangers for the pickup shoes, copper pickup shoes, copper pickup shoe springs, from what I can see. It has a razor front end, O-ring front end. It is not independent. The front tires are 340s on the rims. Some people call them wheels. Okay, went over the electricals, all copper. The pickup, not the pickup, the guide pin. The guide pin looks like to me, it is the Viper extended pin, which means when you put your car on the track, the pin protrudes down into the groove on the track further down in. Yes, that is a Viper upgraded pin. Now let's get to the end bell. The end bell is a Gen 4. It has the brawn bushing in the end bell. It has a brawn bushing on the back of the armature, where the armature snaps into the chassis. The bushing snaps into the chassis, basically rests into the chassis. It has the brawn bushing there also. It has the 3.5 balanced armature. Motor magnets are Pro 4, but they're not the standard Pro 4. The motor magnets are the all-new Viper Pro 4 Super Spec magnets. They're wider across the bottom. They close in on the armature more. The gap between magnet to magnet, and you see the armature in there, is a tighter space. This magnet, the Viper Pro 4 Spec racer magnets, will allow the armature to spin higher RPMs and a smoother operation. You're using the old trigger on the hand control. I guess you can expect a smoother power band, so we say. Pro 10 traction magnets, the maxis that are flared out on the back. What else have we got? Let's look at the spec sheet a little bit. We have a 7-tooth pinion gear, a 23-tooth gear on the rear axle. What else? We got the Viper 2.50 double flange hubs. Rear tires are a .438. It's not saying what the rear axle is. I would say the axle is probably the HARDEN CREEK stainless steel center spline axle. The .059 axle. That's what I will speculate is on there. It has 2 spacers on the rear axle. Not sure of the size right offhand. I can guess what I use. I'm not going to go there. The reason I'm telling you it has 2 axles is when I broke down the pricing. What else? Did we miss anything? I think we covered all bases. You cannot build this car for this price. And to be honest with you, guys that like building cars, you're better off buying a car and souping it up, old school talk, the way you like and the way I like. I mean, the prices are, like everything out here in today's society, the prices are going up. Anyways, we're not going to get into the pricing right now on that whole situation, but I can tell you this. I put together all the parts to build this exact chassis. The only thing that has multiple parts when purchasing is the pickup shoe springs. You cannot buy them from Harden Creek one set. The pickup shoe springs come in 4 sets at $3.49. The spacers for the axle, you get 10 spacers for $1.95. And what else was there? You can buy 1 pair of pickup shoes, low profile. But as far as the hangers go, the least amount of pickup shoe hangers that you can purchase comes in a set of 3 pair. Sorry about that, 3 pair. They're $5.96. Everything else you can buy one of. Everything else you can purchase one set or one of. So I'm not going to tell you prices. I shouldn't probably do that, so I'm not going to do it. But I can definitely tell you that you cannot build this chassis for what it's being sold for. It would cost you to build this chassis, I'm going to be close to the ballpark. It'll cost you $15 more, roughly, could be a little more. No, I'm wrong. Yeah. It'll cost you roughly $15 more. That's what calculating the items you buy more than one of that's needed for this car. I'm figuring that out in this price, okay? This is with taking the pickup shoe springs and dividing 4 into the number. You get what I'm saying? That's counting all that. I'm already doing the calculations. It would cost you $15 more to build this chassis than what you can buy it for. And that's where things are nowadays. I mean, I believe Mark Slot Car Garage said it on a live stream. It's cheaper for him to buy a standard Viper chassis already built, the one that's under $50. I think they're like $48 now. A V1 chassis, we'll call it the bare bones deal. Still a wicked fast car. It's cheaper to buy that chassis and soup it up the way you want to than it is buying parts. I wish it was the other way. It used to be the other way, but times have changed. So I figured I would share that with you. And this is called the, I was so excited I forgot to say stuff. It's the 3.5 ohm Mod-Lite. And at Harden Creek's website is the Viper Scale Racing V1 Mod-Lite 3.5 ohm Pro 4 Pro 10 Maxi RTRHO slot car. And there it is. It's exciting. It runs very well. So I'm going to take it to the track and take it for a run, shall we? Hold on. All right, we're at the track. The front O-ring tires on the 3.5 ohm chassis from Harden Creek It has 340s on the front. I have a set of 360 O-rings. If we feel we need to increase the front end size to lift it up a little bit. But let's take it for a couple of runs the way it is and see how she does. Whoa! Well, I can say that's fast. Store-bought track, wicked fast. That's like lightning. Ooh. Yes, I changed the design on the track again. I couldn't help myself. I said in the video from last week I was going to start wiring in the track, and I started thinking about it. And because this is a store-bought track, when you start putting all those whirly-woos in it, with all the seams, it kind of becomes a little bit of a nightmare issue. Because of it being a store-bought track, I'm not going to get into my explanation of that. But with all the seams we have with a store-bought track, you're really, in my opinion, you're better off keeping any of those ziggity-zaggities when you're building your track, because it really does a beating on the car, the chassis. And, you know, actually what I noticed, I've had some guide pins that got sharp, like a freaking needle almost, from the wear and tear they take beating on these seams, all these seams, and the guide pin. The guide pin would almost, it would become thinner towards the bottom, about halfway up, to hold that shank, whatever you want to call it. Them damn things would come pretty freaking sharp. Anyways, we ain't gonna get into all that, even though I already did. But anyway, let's take this baby for a couple more laps. Ooh, hits a softball. Anyway, you can go fast on a store-bought track. Let's clamp the tires a little bit. Take it for a couple more laps. It's running good just the way it is. It has the, the front O-ring tires are 340 and it's got 438s on the back, firm. Rear tires are firm, 438s. And again, this is the Viper Scale Racing V1 Mod-Lite 3.5 ohm Pro 4 Pro 10 Maxi RTR HO slot car. And by the way, this chassis is built by HARDEN CREEK Slot Cars. Terry assembles this car. It is it's broken in. It's broken in and track tested. And Terry suggests you have a minimum of 1 amp per lane when running this chassis. This car is a speed demon, this chassis. Ooh. And pay attention. Hit a little hard on that one. Oh. Boy, oh boy. Pay attention. Pay attention. side and over the cliff. Hopefully we can find it. Yes, we did. It's on the couch. Get it again. You got to get back in sync with the controller. He's off. You have to drive the car. You can't hold the trigger down. Think the car's going to stay in. That wouldn't be no fun anyway, if that's all you had to do. Anyways, there you have it. This brand new chassis offered by HCS Slot Cars, Harden Creek Slot Cars. The price for this hand-built chassis by Terry at Harden Creek is $69.95 plus shipping. He's fair on shipping prices. He doesn't try to gouge on shipping. A few other places, some of them, I'm questioning about the shipping methods, because I don't understand how their shipping can be sometimes 3 times more. And they're no farther than Florida is. Terry has very reasonable shipping prices at Harden Creek for the 3.5 ohm Mod-Lite. Hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time.